Did an Iranian cluster missile once again strike Israel after an interception failure, raising fresh questions? Are Iran's advanced missiles now increasingly evading Israeli defenses, as repeated impact sites and visible destruction fuel concerns? Have hundreds of scattered bomblets turned these attacks into scenes of chaos, creating a weapon that is not only harder to stop in the sky but even harder to forget on the ground? Is this latest strike being seen as a revenge attack from the shadows, with Iran's use of cluster munitions sending a message? Why are cluster munitions proving so deadly in this war? Here's all you need to know about Iran's deadly missile tactic in war. At least 9 people, including 6 children, were injured in the attack on Bnei Brak on March 24, turning an ordinary day in central Israel into yet another moment of fear and chaos for civilians. Huge destruction was reported in Bnei Brak after what Israeli media described as an Iranian cluster missile attack struck central Israel and scattered damage across a densely populated urban area. According to Yet, citing MDA, a 23-year-old man was moderately injured in the strike, while 11 others were reported to have suffered lighter wounds in the same attack. The missile used in this attack was identified by Yet as a cluster-type munition, a weapon designed to spread multiple smaller explosives instead of delivering a single blast at one impact point. Iran's cluster munitions are ballistic missiles fitted with cluster warheads that open while still in flight, allowing them to release multiple submunitions before reaching the ground. These cluster munitions burst open in midair and scatter many smaller bomblets over a far wider area, increasing the danger zone well beyond a single strike location. Because they release many smaller bomblets instead of one conventional warhead, these missiles are harder to stop and create a more complex challenge for missile defense systems. Israeli long-range systems such as Arrow can attempt to intercept the incoming missile before the cluster warhead opens and releases its submunitions in the air. However, once the warhead disperses and the bomblets spread out, those smaller targets become much more difficult for air defense systems to track, calculate, and engage in time. The bomblets can spread across a broad area and place extra strain on shorter-range defenses like Iron Dome, which are not optimized to handle a cloud of many small falling threats. Reports say Iranian missiles can carry roughly 24 to 80 bomblets depending on the missile type, which means a single launch can threaten multiple locations at once. Cluster mechanisms are not limited to one category of weapon and can be used with ballistic missiles, other long-range systems, rockets, and even artillery-delivered munitions. Cluster munitions are widely criticized around the world because unexploded bomblets can remain active on the ground, posing a deadly risk to civilians long after the initial attack is over. The Convention on Cluster Munitions, or CCM, is a 2008 international treaty that bans the use, production, transfer, and stockpiling of cluster munitions among its member states. However, neither Iran nor Israel is a party to the 2008 Convention on Cluster Munitions, meaning both remain outside the treaty framework that prohibits these weapons. Meanwhile, the IDF has claimed that Iranian attacks are rapidly decreasing as the war enters its 4th week, suggesting that the pace of launches has fallen from the conflict's earlier stages.
Throughout the day, the firing from Iran and Lebanon continued as a result of a rocket barrage fired this evening toward the northern settlements. An Israeli civilian was murdered. This is a difficult event. I want to share my condolences from here with her family. Our hearts are with them in these hours. Over the past 24 hours, we completed several waves of strikes across Iran. We struck the regime's headquarters, launch sites, and missile production sites. We are hitting the entire chain of the missile array, from the production factories to the launches and the missiles. I want to briefly explain the missile fire from Iran. The Iranians plan to fire hundreds of missiles at Israel already on the first day of the operation. They fired less than 100 on the first day and half that amount on the second day. We anticipated these intentions and we continue to disrupt them. The amount of launches decreased very quickly. The average is more or less about 10 missiles a day. The regime tries to concentrate effort once every few days and fire more broadly, mainly towards population centers. We are prepared for this and continue to hunt and eliminate the soldiers and commanders of the missile launch array. They are being hunted and are forced to operate in tents and from vehicles. It can now be said that yesterday we eliminated the cell that was responsible for firing on Orad on Saturday night. We will continue to hunt them, both the launches and the cells. In Lebanon as well, the IDF operates with freedom of action and continues to strike Hezbollah and deepen the damage to it. We continue to reinforce and strengthen the ground activity. We have reinforced the Northern Command with additional forces that will join the fighting in the coming days. At the same time, we attacked and destroyed additional Hezbollah headquarters. Tonight, we attacked the Radwan force. We attacked a headquarters located inside the radio station. We attacked it while the terrorists were inside it. The Chief of Staff defined the Litani line as a northern security line. The IDF operates in this area with full freedom of action and deepens a maneuver whose purpose is to prevent direct fire on the settlements. The IDF will continue to strike Hezbollah to protect the northern settlements and to bring about the disarmament of Hezbollah. I want to tell everyone watching right now at home, responsible conduct and strict adherence to the guidelines at this time are critical to saving your lives. We have excellent defense systems, but the defense is not airtight. The frequent entry into the protected areas and staying in them is difficult. It is hard for families. It is hard for adults and children. We are aware of this, but it is the best way to protect your lives. We are determined to continue acting. This is a necessary campaign to ensure our future. I will continue to be here and update you on any development. Questions?
Channel 12 News question. Does the IDF consider the removal of 450 kilograms of enriched uranium from Iran a non-negotiable condition in any agreement with the Iranians?
Well, we are constantly working to remove existential threats. Even at these moments, the Air Force is operating to remove, damage and deepen the damage to all components of the Iranian regime, including weapons of mass destruction. The IDF will not allow weapons of mass destruction in the hands of Iran. To this end, we launched an operation in June and we are deepening the damage across the entire value chain of the regime, even now, including in the nuclear realm from production to all other capabilities. Regarding any such agreement, we are currently operating according to plan without any change. I cannot address an agreement here, and we will express the IDF position in the relevant places, but we are acting and will continue to act. We are acting even now to deepen the damage and remove existential threats.
Channel 24 question. In light of the contacts for an agreement, will we see an increase in the scope of IDF strikes in Iran in order to exhaust the objectives?
We are striking, as I said earlier, both in Iran and in Lebanon. There is an opportunity here in Lebanon to fundamentally change the situation. Forces were also brought to the front to distance a direct fire from the communities. We are deepening the maneuver in southern Lebanon to push back the direct fire from our communities, and we are operating all over Lebanon to strike Hezbollah and bring about Hezbollah's disarmament at the end of the process.
JDN News question. Is the possibility of easing the Home Front Command's instructions again being considered in light of the discourse on ending the campaign against Iran, and will stopping the strikes in Iran necessarily affect the Lebanese arena?
There are two parts to this question here. The first part, we are constantly conducting situational assessments. The Home Front Command conducts situational assessments. We want to make things easier for residents in various parts of the country, but we will not risk the safety of the residents. We take the operational situation into account, conduct situational assessments, and will update the public accordingly. This could change. Regarding the second part of the question, could you repeat it?
Will stopping the strikes in Iran necessarily affect the Lebanese arena?
No, we will continue to strike in Lebanon, as I said before. We have clear objectives. We have a clear plan. We will deepen our forces in Lebanon. We will continue with it, deepen our hold in southern Lebanon, deepen the defense and the maneuvering in southern Lebanon, and strike throughout Lebanon. And we will continue to strike them until we bring about the disarmament of Hezbollah. Thank you very much.